The emergency beacon blinked its last red pulse before going dark. The atmosphere outside was thick with acidic clouds, and the temperature had dropped to -70 by the time Commander Elias Roake stepped off the broken ramp of his crashed shuttle. Suit integrity stable. Oxygen levels, 92%, chimed his AI assistant, Mara.
He didn't respond.
There wasn't time. They called this place Dagon-IV, but among soldiers and smugglers, it was simply Death Planet. No one survived a night here, not animals, not synthetics, not even ghosts. The planet devoured everything by dawn. Elias wiped a smear of blood from his cracked visor. He had 7 hours until sunrise. If he didn't find higher ground, he'd freeze or worse. The real danger wasn't the cold. It was what moved in it. His mission had been simple: recover a lost science pod from an orbital drop. But something pulled the ship down too, something with its own gravity signature, something alive. The forest he trudged through was alien and pulsing. The trees, if they could be called that, grew in spirals, their bark oily and black, reflecting his suit lights in odd angles. Shapes skittered just out of range. He kept his rifle raised, the motion tracker on his forearm flickering with activity. Mara, scan for elevated terrain. Processing, closest rise is 2.3 clicks northwest. Warning, biomass detected en route.
He sighed.
No time to detour. 1 hour into nightfall. The first creature attacked without sound. It came from above, dropping like a sack of meat with talons. Elias rolled, firing a plasma burst that seared through its torso. It screamed, a high, glass-shattering screech, and twitched into silence. Black mist poured from the wound, evaporating in the cold. Mara, what was that? Unknown species. No recorded match in galactic fauna. Bioluminescence suggests nocturnal predator. Estimated 8 more in range. Elias kept moving. He passed a cracked monolith half buried in the soil. Not natural.
Carved.
Symbols glowed faintly beneath layers of moss. Someone else was here, he muttered. Correction, no record of human or allied presence on Dagon-IV in the last 12 years. So who built this? 3 hours into nightfall. The howls began as the twin moons of Dagon-IV aligned. They echoed through the canyons like layered harmonics, not quite animal, not quite machine. Elias climbed a jagged ridge, eyes scanning the distance. The air had thickened. Breathing was becoming a conscious effort. His thermal sensors pinged, a heat signature moving, fast on all fours. He turned just in time. The beast was huge, quadruped, armored in bone. Its eyes were glowing spheres set into a face that looked human until it opened its maw and screamed with 4 jaws. It lunged, pinning Elias with strength no natural creature should possess. Elias jammed a sonic grenade into its side and rolled. The explosion rocked the ridge. The beast tumbled, shrieking. He didn't watch it fall, he ran. Mara, explain what the hell that was. Cross-analysis complete. Species matches fragments of ancient Martian mythos. Possible bioengineered guardian. Estimated origin. Not native to Dagon-IV. Elias grunted. Then who brought it here? 5 hours into nightfall. Elias reached the rise. At its peak stood a shattered temple made of black crystal. The structure hummed. Every breath he took here felt like it whispered back. A storm gathered overhead. Lightning, red lightning, licked the clouds. In the center of the ruins stood a tall figure. Humanoid.
Still.
Elias raised his rifle. Identify yourself. The figure stepped forward, taller than any man, face hidden behind a mask of metal and bone. When it spoke, its voice echoed inside Elias's skull. You breathe still. Flesh is brave. Elias kept his finger near the trigger. What are you? Once, we were protectors. Now, only Warden remains. You brought down my ship? We called. You answered. Why? To judge if your kind is worthy of dawn. Elias frowned. What does that mean? The Warden gestured to the black sky. The planet decides. Every century, a conqueror must last the night. So it's a test. A crucible. Elias narrowed his eyes. And if I survive, then you command what lies beneath. The ground trembled. A shaft of light burst from the floor, revealing a deep tunnel, ancient and lined with dormant machines. Those who last command the forge, said the Warden. But only if they live. The Warden vanished. 6 hours into nightfall. He had an hour left. The beasts came in packs now, dozens. Elias fought with tooth and grit. He planted traps, burned through every charge of his rifle, used knives when he ran dry. He bled, roared, and moved like a ghost through fire. But his suit was failing. Oxygen dropped. Temperature spiked. His HUD flickered with static. He crawled into the ruins of the temple as the final wave approached. Too many. He fell to one knee. I can't, he whispered. Elias. Mara interrupted, voice cracked by interference. Accessing last protocol, Revenant override. What is that? You signed it before deployment. DNA lock. In case of planetary threat. His chest burned. Then his skin did. His veins lit up with blue fire as nanites surged from his suit's emergency systems. Strength filled his limbs. Pain was forgotten. Outside, the storm broke fully, and Elias charged.
He didn't fight like a man.
He fought like something new. The beasts fell before him. He roared, cracked skulls, broke claws, screamed until the stars seemed to tremble.
Dawn.
The sky split with golden light.
The storm vanished.
The ruins quieted, and Elias stood alone, bathed in sunlight, surrounded by scorched earth and the bodies of fallen monsters. A soft tone rang in his helmet. Congratulations, Elias Roake, Mara said, voice clear again. You have survived Death Planet. Elias collapsed onto a stone, heart still racing. He didn't feel like a man anymore. Above, the Warden reappeared. No longer spectral, solid now. You have passed. The forge is yours. Elias looked at the rising sun, burning away the shadows. What does that mean? You may shape life, shape death, shape legacy. Why me? Because you did not break. Behind the Warden, the ground cracked open. From within rose machines, ancient, powerful, waiting. Ships that hadn't flown in eons. Technology lost to war and time. You are now guardian of Dagon-IV, the Warden said. Elias didn't respond right away. He looked at his hands, still glowing faintly with nanite blue. Then it's time to change the game, he said quietly. 1 week later, the message spread across the galaxy. The forge lives again. The Conqueror calls. Some called it propaganda. Others heard the truth in it. For on a planet none survived, a man had walked through night and stood in dawn's light as something greater. Not just a survivor. A new beginning.